What does a Reiki practitioner actually learn? You may have noticed that there are many different kinds of Reiki being taught today. You may hear terms such as Japanese Reiki, Usui Reiki, Western Reiki, energy healing, chakra healing, aura work, and other spiritual practices. If you are new to Reiki, it can be confusing. Of all the variations, which one is Reiki? In this video, I will take you on a simple journey through the history and development of Reiki. We will begin with Mikao Usui and the roots of Reiki in Japan. Then we will look at the foundation of Usui Reiki, how Reiki traveled around the world, and how different practices became part of modern Reiki. Finally, I will share some questions you can ask when choosing a Reiki teacher or Reiki training program. My purpose is not to say that one approach is better than another. My purpose is to help you understand where different practices come from, so you can make informed choices about your own learning journey. Where did Reiki come from? To understand Reiki, it helps to begin with its Japanese roots. Reiki is associated with Mikao Usui, who developed the Usui Reiki system in Japan in the early 20th century. Usui's teachings became the foundation from which Reiki later developed. But Reiki did not remain only in Japan. As Reiki was taught to new students and eventually traveled to other countries, different teachers, cultures, and spiritual traditions influenced the way it was understood and practiced. This is one reason we see so many different forms of Reiki today. To understand modern Reiki, we first need to understand the foundation from which it developed. The foundation of Usui Reiki, traditional Usui Reiki, was not simply about learning a technique to help another person. There was also an emphasis on personal development and spiritual cultivation. In other words, the practitioner was encouraged to work with themselves as well as with others. Practices associated with Reiki training included meditation, self-practice, hands-on practice, awareness, and the Reiki principles. The purpose was not simply to perform a technique. It was also to develop a calmer and more compassionate way of living. This gives us an important idea. Before we focus on helping others, we also learn to cultivate ourselves. Through practice, we can become more aware of our thoughts, emotions, actions, and relationships with the people around us. Reiki, therefore, can be understood not only as something we do for another person, but also as a path of personal practice and growth. Reiju and Reiki training. Another important part of traditional Reiki training is Reiju. Reiju is traditionally understood as a form of spiritual empowerment or transmission within Reiki training. Different Reiki lineages may explain and practice Reiju in different ways. The important point is that Reiki training was not simply about memorizing information. It involved practice, guidance, experience, and a relationship between teacher and student. This is an important part of understanding Reiki as a traditional practice. How did Reiki spread around the world? As Reiki moved beyond Japan, it entered new cultures. Different teachers began teaching Reiki to people from different backgrounds. Over time, Reiki developed in many directions. Some teachers preserved more Japanese approaches. Other teachers incorporated practices from other spiritual and energy traditions. This is how we eventually began to see many different forms of Reiki. Today, a Reiki practitioner may also study chakra systems or awareness, Kundalini practices, intuitive development, psychic development, Tibetan-inspired practices, other energy healing systems, New Age spirituality. For many people, these practices can be meaningful parts of their spiritual journey. There is nothing wrong with exploring different traditions, but there is an important distinction to understand. A practice can be valuable without necessarily being part of the original Usui Reiki teachings. For example, someone may practice Reiki and also study chakras, aura reading, meditation, or intuitive development. Those practices may become part of that person's broader spiritual practice. But that does not necessarily mean they originated with Mikao Usui or belong to the original Reiki system. Understanding this distinction helps us know what we are actually learning. Traditional Usui Reiki and modern Reiki. What is the difference between traditional Usui Reiki and modern Reiki? The answer is not always simple. There is no single modern form of Reiki practiced by everyone. Different teachers and lineages have developed in different ways. Traditional approaches may place greater emphasis on Japanese Reiki practices, personal cultivation, meditation, Reiki principles, hands-on practice, and teacher-to-student training. Modern Reiki may include additional systems such as chakras, aura work, intuitive practices, or other forms of energy healing. Some practitioners combine several traditions. Again, my purpose is not to say traditional is good and modern is bad. Instead, I believe it is helpful to know the difference. When we know the history and origins of a practice, we can appreciate both the tradition and the ways it has evolved. What about Reiki symbols? If you are beginning Reiki training, you may also hear about Reiki symbols. Different Reiki lineages teach symbols in different ways. There can be differences in how symbols are written, pronounced, explained, and used. For this reason, I believe it is valuable to learn more than simply memorizing a symbol. Ask, where did this symbol come from? What does it mean within this particular Reiki lineage? How is it traditionally used? And why is it being taught in this system? Understanding the history and meaning behind a symbol can give us a much deeper appreciation of Reiki practice. And questions to ask your Reiki teacher. If you're thinking about learning Reiki, you should feel comfortable asking questions. You might ask your teacher, where did your Reiki training come from? What lineage do you teach? Who was your teacher? How much of your training is based on Japanese Reiki practices? What will I actually learn in this program? What do the Reiki symbols mean, and how are they used in your system? These questions are not about judging a teacher. They are simply questions that help you understand what kind of Reiki education you're receiving. A good student has the right to understand what they are learning. Reiki is a journey. For me, one of the most beautiful things about Reiki is that it can become a journey of self-discovery. Reiki has traveled across cultures and generations. It continues to evolve as people around the world practice, teach, and share it. We can respect the different ways people experience Reiki while also taking the time to understand its history and origins. Learning about the roots of Reiki does not have to create separation. Instead, understanding our roots can help us practice with greater awareness, respect, and sincerity. Whether you are completely new to Reiki, whether you are curious about receiving a Reiki session, or whether you are thinking about becoming a Reiki practitioner, I hope this video gives you a starting point for understanding Reiki and its development. Reiki is more than a word. Behind the word is a history, a tradition, teachers, students, practices, and many different interpretations that have developed over time. When we understand where something comes from, we can make better choices about how we learn and practice it. My hope is that we can approach Reiki with curiosity rather than judgment. We can honor its Japanese roots. We can recognize how it has evolved around the world. And we can continue learning with an open mind and a sincere heart. I'm Rosalind, Reiki master and teacher. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the history, practice, and development of Reiki. If you are interested in learning more about Reiki, meditation, spiritual cultivation, and the history behind these practices, I invite you to continue this journey with me. Thank you for watching. I look forward to learning, practicing, and exploring the beautiful journey of Reiki with you.